All right. Now, full spoilers.
Who cried in this room at the end?
Full spoilers for Toy Story 4. We not like Child's Play, where we danced around some spoilers. We're going to spoil the whole damn thing. So if you have not seen Toy Story 4, do not listen to the rest of this. You trust us.
Right. But before we get into it, who cried?
Oh, I was sobbing.
All right,
a little bit.
I got tearied. I didn't have a drop.
All right,
but I got tearied.
What about you, Sparks?
I didn't cry at all the first time.
Second time you cried?
I cried hard.
I teared up, but I didn't. It wasn't like Coco where I was about to bawl my eyes out.
Coco.
Okay, I didn't cry hard. I cried.
Coco made me cry.
I was like, oh, that's
no.
sad.
Toy Story 3 made me cry hard. This didn't make me cry hard, but the second time it made me cry.
There are emotions.
I have moment.
The emotions do happen. Yeah.
When I'm watching this film, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm watching the whole thing. I'm going through the whole motions, and we're getting to the end, and I'm just kind of like, whew. Okay, so I guess we're wrapping it. Oh boy, I'm okay. And it's just like all of a sudden, just like by the end of the movie, I'm a ball.
And then it's like I'm not okay anymore. I'm not okay anymore.
Yeah, all right, so let's get into it. Sparks, you look like you're eager to jump into it.
That's a word.
Eager.
Okay, go for it.
Eager beaver.
Are we just like giving first impressions? Is that what we're doing right now?
Let's get going.
I know right off the bat that I have some kind of personal issues and biases that are making me feel certain ways about this movie. So I'll say that I think it's a really good movie, and it made me horrendously sad, and I have not recovered.
Damn, dog.
Okay. Wait, the movie? Are you sad because it wasn't the movie you wanted?
Nope, that's not why.
Well, this is gonna be an interesting conversation.
All right, Ben.
No, it was great. It was a Toy Story movie that, well, because I know we were scared when we first heard about it. And we were like, ooh, is this not going to be as good as we thought it was? No, this was still pretty damn good. I have a few issues, let's say, but all in all, it's a great Toy Story film.
Your name is Ryan.
Hey, it's me. I'm Ryan Oleopoulos. My book club today is... I really like this movie. Like, I was talking to Sparks, like... Pixar for a long time was like, wow, they make nothing but quality movies, and then they started making sequels, and those sequels are good, but I would argue none of those sequels are better than the originals. I would argue the Toy Story franchise is quality consistently throughout all 4 movies. They have not made a good movie. They've made nothing but great movies. I need more time removed from this to say which order everything goes in, but like I really like this movie a lot.
I'm with you. I like this movie a hell of a lot. I think all 4 Toy Story films have felt like they have had a quality unparalleled in sequels.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole franchise. Perhaps it's the distance that each one takes that allows them to
also,
develop
this had
a story.
like creative problems like with Rashida Jones and stuff, which put more worry in my mind.
And
Lasseter, yeah, but like it still turned out like pretty good.
Yeah. So
remember that the whole Bo Peep idea came from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was shocked to loving this movie as much as I did, especially with the. Oh crap! I lost it.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Yeah, I think that this is a great ending, and I felt the same way about Toy Story 3, and I was surprised that I not only felt that this could be seen as a standalone film, especially with how it starts, but also an ending to this 4-movie arc.
Mm-hmm.
That they were able to make a 3-movie arc into a 4-movie arc and make it seem seamless.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
No, I saw the seams on Woody.
But no,
the detail's really good in these movies.
So I want to talk about the beginning because I think the beginning cements this as not just a sequel but also a standalone film. The beginning kind of tricks you into thinking what this movie is. It starts off with a rescue of RC, which I was happy to see RC back. It starts off, they're rescuing RC, they're going to get RC, and they got RC, and it's super happy, and yay, another Woody adventure successful, and then Bo Peep is being sold away.
Yeah.
And that's the crux of the beginning, is that they tricked you into thinking of this adventure story, and now you're sad.
Yeah.
Like from the get-go.
And then it's like, Bo Peep's like, kids lose their toys all the time, and Woody's about to jump in that box.
That moment in that box with those two is so touching.
Yeah, he's about to jump in that box, and the second he hears Andy yell, "Mom, where's Woody?" He's like, "I can't leave."
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, because he's like, "You got to come back inside. Andy's gonna miss you." And her thing is like, "I'm not Andy's toy," and that's
and Bonnie's.
Yeah, I'm like
Molly's.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad. That's really sad.
Yeah, I was right there. I thought that was. I know, Sparks. You said earlier that you were before you saw the movie. You talked to us. You said you were bummed that it doesn't open with a.
Yes, because I saw the first. All the way up to when he comes home with Forky.
Yeah.
That was a sneak peek at the parks.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
And you were bummed that it doesn't open with a child playing.
With the fantasy of child play,
Yeah.
because only because every other Toy Story film always has.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
tradition.
But I think it heightens this film to start that way. I truly do.
Don't misunderstand me and say that I think it's bad. I just some traditions I'm sad when they don't happen. That's all.
Sure. Yeah.
I
It's not me saying
no,
it's
I
not
get
even
that.
me
Yeah, I
saying
get
this
that.
is the wrong choice.
Yeah,
I think it works for this movie. Like I'm not upset about it. I just
I really like the montage of like seeing Andy like wow, good looking young Andy.
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
1995 Andy.
As he's growing and playing with Buzz and Woody
Got a
and
friend
all,
in me.
all them. Yeah. There's a moment. I guess we can jump around a bit, but when they do see Bo again, Bo says, "Slinky, how is Slinky and Rex?" And he talks about all of them. But I was kind of hoping that Bo would have said, "How is like RC or the binocular?" And having that kind of moment between Bo and Woody that some toys didn't make it. In these past couple of years, we have lost some friends.
yeah.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I thought that would have been nice. I'm not missing it.
Well, that
I
was
just-
so that was part of the thing. Ryan and I were talking about this. Is that why I said like, oh, they go for it like right out of the gate with Toy Story 4 when I saw that sneak peek.
Yeah.
Is because I was like, there was a moment the first time I saw it where I thought, oh, this might just be how RC got lost.
Oh yeah.
They might just do that. Dang.
Yeah.
Because RC isn't in Toy Story 3, and so
Yeah.
I'm like,
RC has RC. Man, I felt the same. I was like, oh no, RC, I haven't seen you in years. RC, no, because RC was my favorite as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of emotion in that not talking car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He revs real
Oh,
sad.
when he's trying to claw, it's heartbreaking. I'm crying thinking about it.
Yeah, it's I will say I don't think this is as sad as like the beginning of Up or something, but it definitely sets a piece of like, oh yeah, they're definitely going for it,
Yo,
like
Up
immediately.
Up
yeah.
is not fair. Up's
Yeah.
not fair.
Yeah, Up is it's not fair at all.
No, nothing is as sad as the beginning of Up.
I know. Holy shit.
Nothing ever.
The entirety of Schindler's List is not as sad. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, boy. That's a real sad movie.
That is a real sad movie.
Uh,
I've only watched parts of it too. But the opening is like, holy crap, are they gonna be able to get RC? Are they gonna be able to get him out of there? And then they do, and then Bo Peep's getting shipped away. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Emotions.
Yeah, it's. I love the scene between the two of them in the box. I think that's a really
Yeah.
powerful scene.
no, it is.
And then Woody's whole kind of existential dread of like, well, I can't do what I'm made to do, so I need to find that thing. And his thing is keeping Forky with
Sure.
Bonnie.
Right.
Like he it's the lesson he learns in Toy Story 1. Like
Like he's not the favorite anymore.
if he's not the favorite, he's got to make sure that the favorite is there. Like because that's how he knows he's still needed because he is the toy that keeps everyone together.
Yes.
And I like how Forky's really funny. I
Yeah,
didn't think I'd like Forky as much as I
Trash?
did.
fully expected like not to like Forky, just
Same
like
here.
just for whatever reason, and then like as soon as like trash, I'm trash. I'm like, oh, that's what we're going for.
Just
Yeah,
He
Yeah.
constantly runs to the trash and jumps inside of it.
That's so funny.
It's
Yeah.
really good bits.
Like when, and then even the bit when I want to say one of my favorite scenes between Woody and Forky is when they're walking. Is like when Forky jumps out of the RV while it's moving. He's like, "I was made for soup," like the famous TV and trailer shot. But then when they're walking and Woody, the whole scene when Woody's carrying him, and then finally when Woody tells Forky the whole story about Buzz, like there's that little anecdote. He's like, "Wait, Buzz thought he was from a planet?"
Yeah, yeah.
He's like,
Thought
"Yeah." I was
Andy's
like,
room was a planet.
Yeah, and his room was a planet. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, he said that's so funny. He's like, I know, right?
That scene's great because like it starts like with like Woody just like dragging him,
Yeah.
and Forky's just like walking, and then he's just like falling over, just getting dragged,
and
walking
then,
and dragging.
And then Forky's like, carry me? No.
Yeah, and then Woody ends up
He
carrying
ends up
him and
carrying
talking to him like a buddy.
It's that bonding moment.
In my screening, when you see that Woody has Bonnie's name written on the bottom of his shoe,
Which is after a really cool montage.
which is actually like an awesome montage. This little girl in the audience just goes, "What?" Like she didn't see Toy Story 3, so she didn't know that Bonnie gets Woody. And I was like, "Oh, it's like the biggest anime portrayal for that girl." Oh no, I just thought it was really cute. I think Bonnie's super cute in this, guys. She's basically just like a little boo or whatever. She's a
Yeah.
cute little girl,
Yeah.
but she works for me.
I think it works that she feels like a child who.
Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid, I was so attached to any toy that I had or made. Like I was attached to rocks as a kid. Like this was my special rock or something like
No,
that. And
I don't blame you because I had a stick collection.
I think Bonnie is accurately portrayed in that light. And I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
She represents a different child than Andy.
Yes.
Another thing I also like is since Bonnie got Woody, Buzz, and essentially Andy's all of Andy's toys, and she still has her own. Woody is trying to like help out his crew, but Dolly is like the Woody of that group. I like the beginning where they're like, yep, whenever Mom cleans the room, she tosses it all in the closet, and then Woody's all like, oh,
Woody's
out.
like, we're not amateurs, we can handle this. Don't worry.
But then he's like trying to did what he did in Andy's room, and then Budai's like, what? Excuse me? No, trick your roll. This is Bonnie's room.
You know, Mel Brooks is in that scene.
More than just Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
There are 4 comedy legends in the scene where Woody's stuck in the closet. They are Mel Brooks, Carol Burnett, Betty White, and Carl Reiner.
Oh,
Who was Betty White?
Betty White was the little chew toy called Bitey White.
Yep.
Mel Brooks was Melephant Brooks.
Great.
Carol Burnett was Cheryl Burnett. And Carl Reiner was Carl Rhinoceros.
That's awesome.
Who was the clock?
None of those 4.
Okay.
Yeah, that was great. I especially when I heard Mel Brooks, I was like, oh.
I thought that voice was familiar. I was like,
And then
why does it sound so familiar?
Woody having his
the sheriff badge
taken and
given
given
to
to
Jesse.
Jesse.
Good-
That was really
good
cool.
foreshadowing.
Yeah, that's real great.
yeah.
It's sad at the beginning though.
It's good shorthand for
Visual storytelling, baby.
for Woody and Jesse later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Forky gets made, gets lost.
Yeah, they do a really good window into like where Bonnie's at in life right now,
Yeah.
and I thought that was really effective. Boo's in her kindergarten class.
Man, I miss
Where
her.
was
You know,
she?
She's like right of center when they show the wide shot of Bonnie entering
No,
the
I
classroom.
I was more focused on the kid with the molecular
No, I get
implant.
it. Yeah, but Boo's in there.
Damn it.
Little older, better
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
And you talked about the parents, how much you like the parents because of
yeah.
their portrayal. Yeah.
So I immediately saw that the dad was wearing Chucks. He's wearing Converse, and I'm just like,
right.
oh, it's gonna be like a millennial dad, isn't it? And then they show up and they're like, wow, it's just a bunch of like 30-year-old millennial parents. Like that's what we're gonna look like when we have kids. Like
Oh,
like kind
wow.
of schlubbly wearing glasses, just like we're all like purple shirt, purple pants. We're cool, right?
yeah.
They were like real modern parents, and I thought it was cool.
Right.
Yeah, I like the parents a lot.
My favorite stuff, honestly, is in the antique parlor, like the
yeah.
antique store with Gabby,
Gabby.
and Benson, and all the ventriloquist dolls.
Oh.
I mean, Slappy from Goosebumps.
When it turns into a horror movie, I love it. It's so good that like that entire sequence of just like the scary dolls, just like rah, like that was my shit.
I told you definitely in like the way they showed some of those pursuit scenes are a lot of Attack on Titan inspiration.
Yeah, man.
Where they
Yeah.
lead with their head
Must
and the
go
bodies
faster.
are just kind of like blah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Those are like, I really like Gabby as a
I like
villain.
I like Gabby a lot. I thought we were going to see like another Lotso, who was like basically just a villain.
Yeah.
I really liked her. She's I think my favorite Toy Story villain.
Yeah, I think so.
I would think so. Yeah, because she just wants to be loved, and then, like her book, and she sees Harmony as like the same girl from her book. I'm like, oh, that's why she wants her voice box fixed.
She just wants to be good enough to be loved by.
And
by a
also
child.
kind of helped me out. This is a weird anecdote, but I always kind of wondered how toys from like the 50s with those pull string voice boxes. I always wondered how they worked because we don't have like the electronic voices we have today, like Buzz's.
Yeah.
And then when she's like, "Yeah, my record's fine. It's just the pull string and this mechanism is broken." I'm like, "Oh,
I tell ya.
I never knew that was a record inside the actual voice box."
I tell you, Woody is in damn good condition for a toy from
For
the 50s.
real.
Yes.
Although you do see some Mark, like when after the montage when Bonnie's name is on his foot, you do see some wear and tear on his shoes.
Oh
still-
no, some wear and
and-
tear.
Dude,
but still,
that was like almost
I have
60.
I have toys from less than 10 years ago that look worse than Woody.
Dude, I got a Swamp Thing from like a year ago that's got damage on it already. Like,
Oh.
Like that-
I'm just saying.
Like I said this in the first film, it's always been Woody looks almost unbelievably good from being a toy that was played with nonstop.
Is in the rain all the time.
Is in the rain all the time.
Gets like, thrown out of cars.
from the 50s.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
stepped on.
Yep.
Yeah.
His face got caved in. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he just blew it back out.
That's the most unrealistic thing.
I thought it was interesting how they animate the toys is so interesting to me. Obviously, Buzz and Woody don't generally have articulation in their hands, but they move like normal hands.
Yeah.
Whereas toys like Duke Kaboom also doesn't have circulation in his hands, but can't move his hands.
Articulation, you mean?
Yeah, articulation, but he can't move his hands.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of interesting. Like, how do they decide what the divide is?
I love Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom is so much fun.
And I love
He is-
all his little like the army dudes.
Yep.
Like
Combat Carls.
Yeah.
Which
Combat Carls.
those make
Combat
it,
Carl.
those
Yeah.
make a comeback because the toy that Sid blew. Thankfully, we saw this a few last week. The toy that Sid blew up was a Combat Carl. We have Combat Carls back.
Yeah.
But the one in the snow gear who never got a high five.
Man.
I'm like, oh,
That for me. That's the best joke in the movie.
That
So,
was so funny to me.
Combat Carl and Combat. Those are actually Combat Carl Juniors. They were established in one of the Toy Story shorts, Toy Story of Terror.
Okay.
And we
Toy
met,
Story That Time Forgot also gets a cameo. Appearance.
Yes, with the Battlesores lunchbox.
nice.
But Toy Story of Terror introduced Combat Carls with like speaking roles, and that's the same guy coming back playing the Combat Carls. Yes,
nice.
I love the hi-fi gags with them. They're
Which
really
is
good.
like,
Real
Yeah,
quick,
no.
that antique shop is full of people have been saying like, and I don't know them all, but the antique shop has like the most Pixar Easter egg references ever.
Oh, I believe it.
I'm
All
sure
in
it
one
would.
like area. It makes this movie have the most ever. I think that Pixar has come out and said that they reference every single one of their movies, even like Onward,
wow.
in this film.
Because I saw the only one. From
Oh, you guys
Antiques-
didn't see Chris Pratt just hanging out in the back?
No, the only because I obviously the Luxo ball is on Forky's feet. We see that a lot. But I saw a plate with the sigil of Merida's house.
Oh,
Is the
yeah,
Luxo ball on Forky's feet? I thought that was a rainbow.
I thought it was a Luxo ball.
I'm not. I don't remember off the top of my head. The Luxo ball is in the antique shop itself, though.
Okay.
I did see that.
Yeah, but that was the plate with Merida's crest, family crest. That was the one I saw, and I could have swore I saw Mr. Incredible when they were going to the antique store.
Yeah, maybe.
Like he was just sitting on a table eating a hot dog.
I believe it.
I really like.
believe it all.
Man,
Yeah, it's just a rainbow on Forky's feet.
Never mind.
yeah, I really liked how they incorporated a lot of the things that. Oh no! What I actually want to say. I'm sorry. I'm so out of it today. The Bo and Woody relationship gives me so much. Gives so much weight to the fact that he can recognize her lamp.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so they specifically set that up. I caught it the second time I saw it, that when Woody's heading into Molly's room to go save RC, he looks down first, and it shows the lights on the floor from her lamp first, which is the same effect that he sees.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
That catches him onto her.
And we find out that they have names. The
While
sheep.
we were, yes, Billy Goat and Gruff.
love those girls.
Yeah. While we were talking about the cameos in the antique shop, the toy that lets them into that place where they meet Duke Kaboom,
The speakeasy.
yeah,
The toy
is
speakeasy.
Tintin.
it's the Tin Toy from the Tin Toy
is.
short, the
Yep.
third short Pixar ever made.
Yeah.
And also in there, another one that I did know is that bald eagle that talks. That's from the Small Fry Toy Story short, where Buzz gets mixed up with a Happy Meal toy,
Oh, I remember that one.
and that's one of them.
That was the first Toy Story short, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of references, and they keep all the Toy Story canon in
really-
hard check too.
It really helped. That we talked about this last time we talked about Onward, but there's not a lot of the original Pixar creative team still at Pixar.
No.
Leon Crix, I think, was the only one that is like currently active, right? That's what
Pete
we decided.
Docter.
Pete Docter.
Leon Critch is leaving after this. Toy
Oh,
Story
okay.
4 was his last project he worked on. Pete Docter is now the head of the old guard. He has John Lasseter's
Doctor.
position.
Right. So what I liked about this a lot is that that original team came back. And I think that helped solidify this film as kind of like relevant, and you know, they know Toy Story is very important to Pixar.
Sure.
So everyone coming back to make a product that would do the first three proud was important to them, and that showed within the film. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Bo Peep's homeless.
But she
She's
loves
a lost toy.
She's a lost toy.
She's in a skunk, and it's great.
Yeah,
I
that's
love-
a
I love
cool
the-
thing.
I
That's
love
an
the
RC
skunk.
car.
I love
admire.
her outfit.
Yeah,
I love her outfit so much.
she's like Janet Van Dyne trapped in the.
That's
in
her
the-
same
in the
outfit, but
dimension.
repurposed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love her
Mhm.
cape. I
Well,
love
because
her.
it's her dress that she spins around into a cape.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
her little. I love her little tape.
Bandages.
Yeah, I love that her arms fall off.
Yo,
She's like, oh, it happens
so
all the time.
when Woody pulled off her arm, because I was
He is
wondering,
visibly shook for a while.
yeah, because I noticed when we first saw Bo Peep how she had like when that little girl had Woody and Bo Peep stare at each other. I was like,
Oh, I'm really glad that
Yeah.
they find each other because a toy.
Yes, I love that too.
Like,
yeah,
character
they're
played
playing.
with them.
And then he was like, Bo, and she's like, fuck, no, don't move yet. Like she's a battle-hardened veteran of all
Yeah,
this
dude.
stuff. But then when like
Sarah Connor.
But when he rips her arm off, she's like, she like plays a joke. I was like, it's fine. It happened years ago. We're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. The first time that
damage.
Woody and Bo are seeing each other that they can't actually openly react about it is
Yeah.
pretty good.
I like that a lot because the way they frame the shot, you can see like Woody's like, oh shit.
Uh-huh.
I like that a lot.
Without him saying,
But
oh shit.
without him even being able to change his face.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What's
Ducky? I think
Ducky and Bunny.
I didn't think I'd like them as much as I did.
same?
I
Key and Peele killed it.
Yeah.
love Ducky and Bunny
Their
so
plan-
much in this movie.
Their plan to just jump the old lady was so good.
No, that it escalated in a rule of 3 to them following her all the way
All the way home in the
and
bath.
rising up in her bed.
That was the best. I was laughing so much after that. I was like, that is so... Like, even Buzz is like, no, N-O. And it's just like...
And then when they get the keys, how'd you guys do it?
She just set them right in front of them.
It was really
very
hard.
very difficult. Almost died, so you're welcome.
I know I've seen it in a TV spot where Buzz gets taped or zip tied to the thing, and
Ducky.
Thank you. Ducky and Bunny and Ducky's like, Bunny, what are you doing? What? With these tiny legs, I can't reach him. And they're like, oh, all right, fine. Just their whole dynamic was like, I know I'm watching Key and Peele, but I'm not watching Key and Peele.
Yeah.
But this is just great, and I love them.
That reminded me, both Buzz and Woody have new phrases in this film.
Oh yeah, they do.
They have both. They have. I think Woody gets like 2 new phrases, and Buzz gets a ton of new phrases.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool.
You
Give them
kind of
more.
needed to facilitate Buzz having new phrases.
Yeah, because
for his inner monologue.
he needs to keep. So your inner voice, like, no, that's not what I'm talking about.
I know we're all super positive about this movie, but my one, I have 2 critiques, but the one that kind of got me a little more,
Not enough buzz.
no, was because Buzz's whole inner voice thing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, Buzz, you know what a conscience is, buddy. You've been around for a while.
You
like when he's talking
Yeah.
to Woody, and Woody says, that inner voice, and Woody's like, your conscience.
He's gone
But
through
then-
3 movies of having a conscience.
Yeah, but then Buzz constantly like pushing his thing. I mean, it does have a funny gag of where he's like, "It's a secret mission." Charles Banks, "Hey, good going," inner voice. The jokes do land, but there are times where he kept pushing the damn button. I was like, dude, you know what's right. Come on.
So it actually pointed to a larger problem I had with the narrative of the film, which is that when Woody is missing, everyone turns to Buzz for what to do, and Buzz can't figure it out without hitting the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
And it does imply, and I wish they had just instead set up, that there could be leadership amongst them without Woody, since by the end of the film, they're without Woody.
Yep.
And that was a little like, what
They
are we?
could have
what
set
are we?
Buzz up
So
for
like,
that.
what they're trying to say with Woody and Bo Peep is really clear and really strong. What they're trying to say with Buzz and everybody else doesn't really seem to have anything other than supporting that main plot.
Yeah, they're
and
very-
not building anything on its own. And that is something that bothers me in this
Yeah,
movie.
I agree.
They're not very active within the narrative of the movie. They only serve to kind of keep the RV around, which I think only
Yeah.
works once as like a comedy beat, and that's Jesse popping the tire.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that worked really well, but otherwise they just kind of sit around and
Yeah, they really wanted to focus
Reaction.
on Woody and Bo, which I think for this movie is strong, and I think it is
Uh-huh.
like the best part of the movie. Like,
But
that
at the
stuff's
same
so
And
time-
in
good.
many ways
But
needed.
but it does kind of have like the other characters suffer for it.
That's
a little bit.
my other critique of this movie is that the other toys that we've grown to love so much over the years are very underutilized.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that Potato Head specifically because Don Rickles, rest in peace.
but all of
but
them
like
were.
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse, Bullseye, Rex.
I
get
want to speak specifically of Jesse though, because
Yeah.
Jesse becomes the next leader.
yeah, and
But
she
we
does.
don't really.
We don't see
How many
anything
lines
to
did she get in
develop
this
that.
movie? 5?
Well, that's the thing is she
Yeah.
gets the sheriff badge, but that doesn't mean leader. That just means like she's the sheriff now amongst that group. But that's the thing is what I'm pointing out is that the Buzz finding the inner voice thing would have worked more for me if by the end of the film Buzz has a sense of what he should do,
Yeah.
what his inner voice is, and that makes him the leader
Hell-
he can be in Woody's absence. That would at least have a narrative tone that I can get behind.
Yeah, and in Toy Story 2, Buzz is the leader. He's like, I'm going to go get Woody back. He calls the shots. He has his own.
Yeah.
He has his own space marine. He's even trying to convince his own clone with the belt. I was like, "Yo, dude, you're a toy, man."
Yeah, the thing you brought up, Ben, about like Buzz's
Inner
conscious-
voice?
Yeah, like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, all of Toy Story 2 was him trying to.
Yes,
So I'm
it's-
like,
it's
that
a-
kind of rings hollow for
Yeah.
just being funny.
Yes, I
mean-
agree. It is a funny gag.
A good callback would be him going back into Spanish mode for a hot second.
That would be.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm really glad they didn't touch Spanish mode.
Yeah.
You glad?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I prefer them leaving Spanish mode alone. The thing is, like, if you watch all the Toy Story stuff, they do hit it on another short.
Okay.
And I didn't need more Spanish mode Buzz.
French mode.
I felt like that was plenty.
Chucky mode.
A problem that I have had in the past with the Toy Story films, and Toy Story 4 kind of doesn't escape it because of exactly what we're talking about, is that Buzz is robbed of having a singular identity in all of the films to an extent, because part of Toy Story 2, he's abducted and separated from the gang, while a Buzz who still believes that he is not a toy is taking his role.
Yeah.
And then in Toy Story 3, part of the time he's turned back into factory old setting Buzz, who believes that he is not a toy, and then into Spanish mode. So I really wanted Buzz to have a singular sense of identity in this one. And again, because he never kind of does discover the inner voice thing, I can get behind the gag of him being like confused, like he's never thought about what the inner voice is, and he doesn't understand what Woody means, like he's never considered it. But I wish there had been a payoff of him figuring that out.
I agree with that.
Yeah, for all the emotional payoff of their relationship together, Buzz and Woody, they spend a lot of this movie apart.
They spend a lot of all three movies after Toy Story 1 apart.
They do, yeah.
No, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish, and we do get a sense of their relationship, but the emotional payoff at the end does ring true for me, but I would have liked to have seen them work together more often. Kind of like Cap and
I was
Iron
going to
Man.
say, this is the exact same scenario with Cap and Tony.
Yeah, like I liked Endgame because they were together on the same page
I had
a
the
lot of the movie.
same realization that what happens with Woody at the end is the same thing that we got with Captain America, but it hurt me more.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I don't want to talk about the ending right now. But yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Ben. I think that the Buzz inner voice thing it's not necessarily a bad gag that I wish wasn't there. I just wish it had proper handling and payoff.
I mean,
I don't feel like it does. I feel like it's more or less used as a fun gag and then a tool to make it so that Buzz doesn't go with Woody because they had to.
I do like the two when they are together. I like them together. I like their scenes together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, this is still a great movie. Like the parts I love the most of this movie, I think, were the scenes with Woody and Bo Peep and all the other like quote unquote lost toys, like the tiny little Polly Pocket cop. What was her name?
Giggle McDimples.
Thank you,
Giggle McDimples.
I freaking
love her.
I love her. Giggle McDimples, Ducky and Bunny, Duke Kaboom.
When
All the new toys are great.
Yeah.
When they're throwing toys at people at the credits sequence,
Yes.
that was great.
Yeah, all the new toys are great. Let's talk about Duke Kaboom a bit.
Keanu Reeves,
Okay.
hell yes.
What? Renault?
Rajan.
No, Rajan.
Why,
His flashback with like his sad French kid, man. What?
I love the way they do because of how he is as a posable toy when he's saying no, and he's just constantly like turning different parts of his body on each no, just no way.
He's just always
Never.
moving.
Decline.
Yeah.
Rejected.
I thought I wasn't sure Keanu. I think under a it's kind of like what's his name, Latin Poe Dameron,
Oscar
Isaac. It's kind of like Oscar Isaac. Given a good voice director, I think he's a good voice actor. I think Keanu had a really good voice director on this one and was able to actually be a good voice actor. And he's a lot of fun. It really comes out of Duke Kaboom.
Yes.
Really makes that character his own.
He's like, do what you're good at. You're not good at landing. You're great at crashing.
Yeah.
And you're like, crash us to victory, Kaboom. Like,
And he's like,
yes, I Canada.
And he's like,
Yes, I can.
I'm gonna start saying that from
That's
now
really
on.
good.
when
really good.
yes, yeah, when she's trying to build him up, Bo Peep, and the first time it's like, who's the Canuck? Something, and then he's just like, kaboom. He's just unsure, but he's like, it's me. Kaboom.
Or when he's just like, when he starts, I can't do this. I'm not good at this sort of thing. I can't. When he's at the fair when
The Ferris wheel?
makes the giant jump
With his eyes closed.
Yeah, it's like I can make this jump with my eyes closed.
So wait, what? 1, 2, 3, go!
And then he does it. And then he hits his head, but then he's like, kaboom. I'm like, that's so great.
It was good.
I thought something really bad was going to happen.
I thought the first time I saw it, I thought he was decapitated.
Yeah,
in that
me
moment. I'm
too.
like,
Yeah.
oh dang.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. He's like, nope. He's just like, kaboom.
But as we know from Sid's room, it doesn't matter if they're decapitated.
Yeah.
Decapitated.
Yeah, they'll still
fine.
be okay.
So I want to talk about the ending.
Let's talk. Well, can we before we
Are there
get there?
still things to flesh out before that?
Let's see.
I want to say like the whole scene with Gabby, or
Yeah,
her
everything
scenes.
leading up to Gabby
like
separation.
the high scene with Gabby, like when when Buzz is finally there, Ducky and Bunny are there, their whole thing, and then finally they look out, they're like, oh, I've dealt with Cat before, not that one, and you see like the torn up toy, but then you see him again in the pinball machine, which I thought was great.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, you mess with the dragon.
Yeah, the cat.
But I love how Gabby isn't like a Lotso, because I was a little nervous that we're gonna get another Lotso bear or another prospector.
Yeah.
But she just wants to be loved, and then Woody gives up his voice box, and you still see his stitching and his pull string is gone throughout the rest of the movie, which great attention to detail. But then when she finally gets what she wants, and then her
heartbreaking.
I felt for her because the second I see her, she's being pushed around by those dummies. I'm like, oh, you're a bad guy. You got
as soon as she stood up, I'm like, oh, this is definitely the bad guy, right? Come on.
The way the Bensons come out of the shadows.
And they're just like
they're
so creepy.
It's like very like, get my sword. I'm fine. It's like that meme was like, Moon's haunted. What? Loads pistol gets the spaceship.
Oh, yeah.
Moon's haunted.
Moon's haunted.
It's like it's when she is tossed aside by Haley.
Harmony.
Heartbreaking.
Where she's like, I found this doll. Oh, and the sweet grandma. She's
You
like,
can take it
oh,
if you
want
want
it? Nah, toss. And she
so
is
bad.
broke. And then she finds the lost kid.
Yeah.
That whole scene is like,
That's great, dude.
That started to get to me.
That's like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, God damn, Pixar, you did it again.
Yeah.
They really brought some depth to their villain. It wasn't a villain.
No.
Yeah.
She just wanted a goal.
You know
was
what
an
she was?
antagonist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She
There
was
you
an
go.
antagonist, not the villain.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention way back when we were talking about Forky, I really like the way that Forky figures out that he's important to Bonnie.
Oh, how
And
he's
it's
like trash.
Bonnie is my
I'm
trash.
I'm her trash.
Yeah.
I'm her trash. I get it.
Yeah.
I really like the way that comes around, and he completely dedicates to it because he understands.
All of
it just had to
Forky's
correlate
scenes-
properly.
All of Forky's scenes made me hysterical.
Yeah.
Like, even when the dad was trying to get back to the RV, he kept hitting the lock button.
The whole
Oh,
montage
yeah, yeah.
of Forky trying to escape to Randy
Oh.
Newman's "I can't let you throw yourself
Or
away."
like Bonnie's asleep and and Woody is just staying in the trash can, just throwing Forky back up on the bed because he just wants to be
or
in that
even
trash can.
when Bonnie's asleep in the RV and they're like, you think we should get her a fork? And Buzz is like, no, Spoon is safer. You know this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forky's a lot of fun. So let's talk about the end.
Nope, still not at the end yet. I want to talk about the dad and the mom being dragged back to the RV by the toys, and the unicorn who's just like,
Buttercup?
Dad's totally going to jail.
Why does Buttercup want Dad to go to jail so bad?
He's really into that plan.
It's for everyone to go to jail.
That poor family, what's happening to them?
We framed Dad so he could go to jail.
It's rough, man.
Like, we're not framing Dad to go to jail.
Your backpack's at the antique store. Let's go.
My backpack. And they're like, you could tell that the parents are like really clearly exasperated. Like when
But they're still sweet, nice
I mean,
parents.
like the flat tire. Like the dad's like, and then mom's like, okay, Dad's going to say some words. Let's
Yep.
go check out the carnival.
I want to talk about the scene after they botch the rescue of Forky, and they're pulled outside, and Bunny is torn up, and the sheep were damaged because of Woody.
I was so scared that the sheep were gonna shatter
And-
when they fall. I
yeah,
love my
and so
girls.
Bo Peep challenging Woody's position on everything. That's a strong. Good
It is, yeah,
moment.
because you know there's got to be some drama somewhere. And you're just waiting
Yeah.
for it, and I'm like, when they do start fighting, I'm like, no, guys.
And he says
You've been
it's
working
called loyalty, not something a lost toy would
Yeah,
understand.
that's the line where I'm like, oh,
And
Woody.
he immediately regrets it.
We
Yeah.
we had a drunk dad that was in our second screening, and he
You
was
told-
really invested. And so when that happened, he was like, "Oh, damn!"
No, actually, there was a dad in my screening way up at the top when right before Bo gets taken away, he's yelling, "Kiss her!"
yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, when Woody says something a lost toy wouldn't understand, and you see his face change immediately to regret.
Yes.
So that was really
So
strong.
great.
Another like hitting on that Woody and Buzz separation point, which is part of a thing for me in this film, is when Woody says, "I don't leave a toy behind," and he leaves Buzz behind.
Yeah,
And doesn't
And Buzz is just
bring
like,
him along, and
"You
it's
just left him
it's a
behind."
moment that doesn't ring as true to the franchise as I think they want it to.
Yeah, I
it
can see
doesn't
that.
feel
Yeah.
natural; it feels forced.
And doesn't Buzz also says like, "Dude, you just left me behind."
Yeah,
and,
and again,
then Buzz's
like,
inner voice forces him back to the RV, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this feels. I
Again,
feel the hand of the writers
yeah.
forcing this separation
Mm-hmm.
because they need to, and not because this is actually what should happen between these
they
characters.
didn't find a natural way to like we need Bo Peep and Woody to be together, so we're just forcing everyone out and like not in a
they
good way.
They tried to kind of make it make sense with how Woody is so obsessed with making Bonnie happy that
Yes.
he will go for Forky no matter what.
I know
Yeah.
that's there, but I mean, it's the twofold of Woody just ignoring Buzz entirely, like not listening to him even for a moment when he's bringing up Bonnie's backpack or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Buzz's inner voice forces him away from Woody, that's like this feels really narratively pushed.
yeah,
In a way that doesn't feel natural to these characters.
Yeah.
And that irks me a little. But otherwise
Yeah.
I like that scene.
Yeah.
Keegan-Michael Key turning back as Ducky just going, "You crazy."
Yeah.
You
No,
crazy.
Or when he thought that Bunny was dead.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was surprised that those two characters stayed attached to each other, sewn together by hands.
Yeah.
I didn't think that would happen because nothing in the marketing had shown that. That was
they
the
were
case, and
sewn
so I was
together.
surprised.
I thought.
Yeah, they were never apart.
That's
Oh.
Ducky and Bunny. Their Bunny's
are-
right hand is sewn to Ducky's left.
I never knew that. I swore that I saw them like
No,
apart.
they
Nope.
never separate.
They were never separated.
I guess I need to see.
Does that mean the toys are also connected? Like when you
No.
go to the toy
No.
store,
No, they're just like
they're separated.
sewed by their hands. Yeah, they like two seams or something.
I'm saying, give me the 2 toys for the price of 1 at Toys R Us. Just saying.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh, Toys R Us is coming back.
what?
Yeah,
Toys R Us.
thank you, Toy Story 4.
We don't have time to get into that
Yeah, we'll
right
talk
now.
about that later. One of the jokes that just landed for me so hard was the Ducky and Bunny. Like when they're walking with Bo Peep and the sheep turn around. They're
Yes,
like,
I was
"Oh
about
my-
to literally bring this up. Go
Oh
ahead.
my maker! It has 3 heads. And then even when they go to the merry-go-round the
Staring
first time,
into my soul, I'm gonna have nightmares.
yeah. And then when they go to the merry-go-round and you see the can get squished, and Bunny's like, "Oh, stuff that."
Yeah.
I'm like,
Or when they still go and they get taken around.
yeah. And I'm just like, this. They have. I just love those two. I think them and Duke Kaboom are my 2 favorite new toys.
Yeah.
They're
Actually,
a great addition.
no. Dimples is my favorite. I love her as well.
Yeah.
Like when Bo Peep's talking about the cowboy, she's
Oh, is
she's
that
like
the cowboy?
she's like running to Woody. She's like, "You gotta love him for it," and she's like, "What? No, what?
Yeah,
what?"
yeah. I love Buzz's whole action sequence when he leaps out of the RV and they're playing his classic opening music from the beginning of Toy Story 2 as action music.
Yeah.
And he's
I
flying
really enjoy
for
that.
a second.
And he's flying for the moment, and then he gets hit with the ride and everything. I thought that was really awesome. And
Again, Buzz, super sturdy toy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, made of plastic, so fantastic.
Yeah, and I love when Buzz catches up and he's like, "Woody, look, it's Bo Peep."
Yeah.
Like he didn't even know.
yeah, like Woody wouldn't have known. He wasn't just
Or
standing
even when
there.
Bo Peep, she's like, "Buzz?" And
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
still
Buzz
got
is still there.
And then he's like, "Bo Peep," and she's like, "Oh, there's my old moving buddy." He's like, "Woody, it's Bo Peep."
Nice
Holy
callback to the first Toy Story.
Yes.
Very nice callback.
I like that a lot. I'm glad I saw the first Toy Story, or else I wouldn't have caught that.
Yeah, there were a lot of references to all of them, having watched all 3 before this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see 2 and 3
Yeah.
before this one.
Oh, another thing, another tradition super missing from this one, no Star Wars reference.
Is there a Star Wars reference in each one?
Yes, in
No,
Toy Story 1, there's the breathing sound, and the whole Zurg's plan is the Star Wars plan to...
The Death Star.
Yeah,
in
the
Toy
whole
Story
Death
1?
Star plan. I have the plans to that weapon's only weakness. That whole thing is a Star Wars reference. In Toy Story 2, Zurg himself is a reference to Vader, the "I'm your father," all that stuff. In Toy Story 3, Lotso is picked up by Baby and thrown into the dumpster, a la Vader picking up Palpatine.
Oh.
They have been very clear that they have always made Star Wars.
Actually, I
references
think
like
there
that.
was, because Ducky said something about Galaxy Far, Far Away.
When he's
kicking-
called that.
When he's kicking Buzz's head, he's like, "Galaxy Far, Far Away."
Oh, a galaxy far, far from my foot. Yes, that is a small Star Wars reference, but I'm talking about like thematic
Okay.
placement of material
Gotcha.
that made it intrinsic, because they went 4, 5, and 6 with 1 through 3, and I don't know what they would have done for 4, but there isn't one
Rogue One.
that is as direct as those 3. So it's surprising.
Generoso's in this
Interesting.
movie.
Now, can we talk about the ending?
Yeah, now we can talk about the ending.
Yeah, what's the
I
problem
want
with
to
it?
talk about your... You sound like you have an issue with the ending.
I don't have.
Let's just talk about it. We don't have to make it dramatic.
I
Let's
don't
just
have
talk about
an
it.
issue. So
I just want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So
What's
the
going on?
ending is... well, I just wanted to get his thoughts so we could talk about it.
Oh yeah.
So the ending sees Woody stay with Bo Peep on the carnival, and the other toys leave on the road trip, and Woody lives his rest of his life with Bo.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. I think it's really good thematic ending for the arc that Woody had in this film specifically, and I was sobbing like a baby, especially when Buzz says she'll be okay, and Woody thinks he means Bo,
Yeah.
but then
Bonnie.
no, Bonnie
Yeah.
will be okay. I thought that was really great.
Yeah.
I really like the ending myself.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? Is that we're not gonna?
No, I'm waiting for Sparks to tell me what his I want to hear what his thoughts are, because we all like it. I just want to know what's
It's not that I don't like it. Like, this is why I opened it up with saying that I have some personal hang up or something.
I
it's
just want to
not
hear what
a-
it is.
It's not like an issue. It's that I mean, like, I have an issue in the sense that like it goes back to the same thing with the Buzz and Woody stuff. I just don't think like that relationship is given its amount of due for the fact that they're separating at the end of this film. In this film,
Yeah.
that they're just not together enough, and I wish that was more well established. I also think that if Toy Story 3 didn't end with the fake out about college where all the toys get into the box and they each have a moment saying goodbye to Woody because they think he's going to college and they're going to the attic, but then they all end up with Bonnie, then they would have allowed the toys to have a more sincere and like moment with Woody. Instead, they all kind of get a group hug with him.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish at least some of them were speaking in that moment and saying things to Woody, especially like Slinky Dog, who's been one of Woody's best friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's just not there, and it makes some of that separation of those toys ring a little hollow, but that's critique, but not
No, I can agree with
ruining
that.
the film.
I
But
see
like,
that.
I like the whole narrative arc of it and
Yeah.
everything. I understand the intent of it and everything. It's all of that, like that kind of separation that I fundamentally come away from this with a problem personally, though I think the film is good, that my imagination has to live with a reality where Buzz and Woody are not together anymore.
Yeah.
That hurt me in a way I didn't think it would. This is why I'm saying it's a personal
Yeah,
thing.
no, I get it. Yeah.
I didn't think that would bother me as much as it does. And I don't know that, like, more time given to their relationship would have made me feel better about it. The first time I saw it, I didn't cry because I just kind of sat there in it for a while. And I talked with my girlfriend about it all the way home, and I'm like, I'm just really sad. And I've been sad
Yeah.
for days, and
Yeah.
I saw it a second time, and I more prepared for it, and it made me cry. And
That shows an
that's-
effective product then, right?
Yes, and like this is not the same kind of like emotions that you get at the end of Toy Story 3, where it is like that. And again, I'm acknowledging this isn't on the movie. This is I can't get over some kind of hurdle here where it has unlocked something where I am deeply sad, probably about something in my own life that the film has made me think too much about, and I am just now very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally
A
get what you're
lot,
saying.
and that's just what's happened. But it does, at its core, on some level, bother me that I have to know that Woody and Buzz are not together forever.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do like that they get a goodbye, and when they say when to infinity, and then Woody finishes and beyond, I thought that was really effective.
That's what got
Yeah.
me. That was like, oh shit, that's the good stuff right
Yeah.
there.
Well,
yeah.
Because the whole time I'm watching this Toy Story movie, I'm thinking it's gonna end like 2 did, where Woody gets the toys, like he gets Jesse and Bullseye and a few others from Toy Story 2. They go into Andy's room. So I was thinking he was gonna, like, him, Bo Peep, Duke, Bunny, Ducky, and Bunny are gonna wind up in the RV, and then Bunny's gonna be like, "Oh, sweet, my dad bought me new toys. Cool."
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't go that
But
route.
at the same time, because that was the ending I saw.
It's just more traditional.
Yeah, it's a traditional, like, I could see that 5 miles away. This one where Woody's like, no, I'm going to stay with Bo. I'm going to be a lost toy. I'm going to help other toys find homes. Like
Man,
what they
that
do at
stuff
the
was
carnival.
so good, man.
and
I was-
the parallel of him holding his hands and him realizing that this is like when I said goodbye to you
Yeah.
last time.
And he also realizes that Bonnie doesn't play with him that much anymore, so she is not going to...
Doesn't play with him at all.
Yeah,
He's
it does-
purposeless.
Yeah. So he's like, so that ending I like a little bit more, and yes, it does bug me out that Buzz and Woody aren't going to be together anymore, but at the same time, one of my biggest shockers when I saw Toy Story 3 was Bo Peep was gone. And now Woody is back with Bo
Nothing betrayed me more
than that.
than when Bo Peep wasn't in Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I had speaking of Sparks having like a visceral reaction almost to the ending of this film. Like I had a strange reaction to Toy Story 3 when Bo Peep was not there. Like, I'm sorry, excuse me, what did you say? Where is Bo Peep? I'm sorry.
He's gotta
That's
wait.
surprising.
Like I had a reaction to Bo Peep no longer being in Toy Story 3.
I mean, I had a reaction, but I don't think it was that strong.
No, I don't know. Again, like
No, I get it.
you don't
I
know.
get it. I
Like,
get it.
I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason,
Well, because
that happened.
Part of my thing is I feel like other characters are sacrificed in order to build up the Woody and Bo Peep thing in this film, which I think the story needs, and it works well. But I don't think that would have been as necessary if Bo Peep were kind of more of a character in Toy Story 1 and 2, which
Yeah.
I can give you Toy Story 1, but Toy Story 2, she's barely in it. She's in the
yeah,
beginning
she's
and the end.
she's just like Woody's
and that-
girlfriend who's like, "Oh, please come
And that
home
makes it
soon,
so by
Woody."
the time that I'm done with Toy Story 3, I'm less invested with that relationship than I am with Jesse and Buzz.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I think what I carried over was the goodwill from Toy Story 1, 2, 3. Like from Toy Story 3, I was just kind of like remembering the relation to Toy Story 1, and I was hoping to see
Sure.
more of that, but not knowing that you have to live in a world where you know that Buzz and Woody are no longer together. I had to live in a world after Toy Story 3 that Bo and Woody never saw each other again.
right.
So having this film kind of retroactively helped my reaction to Toy Story 3 almost. If
Yeah.
that makes sense?
And that's I think the core of where my thing comes from is that, to me, the relationship in Toy Story, if you say, what's the relationship of Toy Story? Buzz and Woody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the relationship that gets broken at the end of this. So that's why that devastates me more, because I didn't need Bo Peep and Woody together forever in my imagination for it to be okay.
Yeah.
I did need Buzz and Woody to be together, apparently.
Yeah. And again, like, my own personal take on it. I completely respect and I like that. Again, it is an emotional reaction. Like, a movie does this to you, and you don't like what they did because I like that, and I think that's really powerful. Whether you like it or whether you think it's good or not. I really like that Woody was purposeless, and the sad thing had to happen for him to find purpose and to get happy. Because it's always darkest just before the dawn. So I would. It sucks that they're not going to be together, but if he's going to be unhappy hanging out with Buzz at Bonnie, that's not who. That's what I mean. He's happier somewhere else.
Eventually, Bonnie would have just gotten over.
It would have thrown him away.
Yeah. And so now with Woody going to help out,
they're all leaving on their own terms. Mm-hmm. So everyone's happy on their own terms. Woody's not miserable hanging out with Bonnie. There's going to be another sequel that could do something different. I'm perfectly happy with where everyone's journey.
I think the credit scenes help too. Yeah. With them at the
getting toys to kids and Bill Hader's just hanging out. I thought that was really charming.
That was Bill Hader.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
But I love I love where Ducky Bunny are talking, and then they jump at him. I'm like, okay, they
turn the kaiju monsters.
But then they turn the kaiju monsters, and they're like,
"Do you have laser eyes?
Whoa. Do you have laser eyes?"
And then Keanu Reeves getting,
whoa,
that's so great.
So I want to ask before we get into final thoughts.
Oh, wait, the knife girl.
Well, we're not. Hold on. I want to be clear. It is not that I think it isn't good, or that I don't like it.
Yeah,
no. But I want to be clear. There is a separation of me enjoying this film and knowing that it's a good film and all that, and a separation of the way it makes me feel after the film's over.
Yeah, I thought you were very clear.
And without diving into a therapy session,
yeah.
There is something specific in the separation of longtime friends getting its justice to me, that or the way that it feels passed over, that pinpoints something that I obviously need to address in my life.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have felt the same way about Steve and Bucky, which is why there are petitions to rewrite the end of Endgame.
So I did bring that up, that I realized they were kind of the same thing, and I'm like, I get it, and it is kind of similar, but this affected me more.
Yeah, no, I get that. So before we get into final thoughts, I do want to ask, do we want another Toy Story film?
No. To be fair, I didn't want another one after 3.
Same here. I was fine with the when I heard about the shorts, I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
In the sense that if they say they're doing another, then yes. I don't think that they'll make another and not make it good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
People have already thought that about 3 and then 4 and been wrong.
Yeah.
So if they say, hey, we actually had a really good idea, we want to make a Toy Story 5, because they swore they were never going to make another after Toy Story 3, and then they're like, we had a really good idea, I'm not going to say no.
I will say Toy Story is one of the only franchises where I'm I guess I'll take a 5 because all 4 have been good.
Yeah.
No other franchise has done
I would
that.
say, I mean, personally, I'm like, no, we're fine. Obviously, it's gonna live forever. But if Pixar comes up, it's like, hey, we got a really good idea. Like what you said, Sparks. If they say we got something good for this, I'm like, all right, I trust you. And Pixar's that one studio where if they have a good idea, I trust them wholeheartedly.
A lot of people have been saying, I'm on this one page, and they talk about how Toy Story 4 was only made for money, but I think that's
everything is made for money.
Yeah, I think that's too cynical. I think that goes to a sense of cynicism that would destroy my my life. But the idea that yes, I'm not naive to think that not all films are made for money. I get it. All films are made for money. However, I don't think Pixar has ever made a film specifically because it was going to make them money. I do feel like every single film that Pixar has made has been creatively driven. And the money has been a benefit.
They've been very strongly about we don't make it unless we feel like we should.
Yeah, that's their whole thing.
That's why Newt no longer
Even
exists.
Cars 2. Even Cars 2.
Yeah.
Hey, that movie
Cars
might
2
not be good, but it still looks awesome.
Well,
That's
Cars
cool
2
spy shit.
Well, also Cars 2 was John Lasseter's pet. He loves that Cars thing. That was his
whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, so final thoughts, and then we'll rate it. So Ryan, you go first.
Yeah, man. Again, I think this movie's dope. 4 solid entries. I don't think any other franchise has stayed this consistent for over 20, almost 25 years now. Wow. I would give this. I'd give it a 9. I think there are some negatives, but I think the positives are just so powerful and so strong that I'd give it a 9.
Ben?
Oh, yeah. As a series that I've been with since kindergarten, and when I saw the last Toy Story or Toy Story 3, I was like, holy crap, I'm growing up with Andy.
We've literally grown up.
I
Watching
know
these movies.
it's
amazing.
so weird. But this movie, when I got out of it, I was still like, man, this is a really good movie. I have some hangups. It's not a 10, but it's definitely a 9. It is that good. Sparks?
Yeah, I give it a 9.
Yeah, I think I agree with all of you guys as far as criticisms and love. 9 for me
Trash?
as well.
Trash?
Trash.
The knife is voiced by Melissa Villaseñor, and I don't think you get somebody like her to do just 2 lines, so I imagine the knife is a focal point of the Disney Plus series.
What's the knife?
The knife
The
that
knife
talks
at
to him at the end.
Oh, the knife.
Yeah.
Trash. Like how am I
Yeah,
alive?
How Am I Alive? That's
I
Melissa
don't
Villaseñor from Saturday Night Live.
I can answer any questions you want. How am I alive? I don't know.
Her-
Her name is Karen Beverly in the credits.
Cute.
Also, the very, very end you need to stay to,
Oh
because
my
if you do, you
God.
get that payoff on that high
Of
five.
the high
Yeah,
five.
you do.
Well,
Joke.
because it's funny because you were telling me because
That's why I said you gotta stay
my
all
whole
the
group,
way.
my group was like, "Hey, we should go. It's over." I'm like, "No, we have to stay till the end." It's like, but then we saw the Disney castle. Like, no, there's nothing. Like, there's something. Let's just watch the whole thing. Then Duke rolls up, and then the second the high five, everyone's like, "Oh yay, the high five!"
Everyone but like one other person left the theater.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
me and that dude were like, yeah.
He got his
great.
high five.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our book club.
Ooh.